So good morning, everybody, respected Ms. Sivai, Mr. Vishnu, Ms. Bushra, dear parents, members of the teaching and administrative staff, and my dear students. On behalf of Mount Litera School International, it is our proud privilege to extend a hearty welcome to you all to this very momentous occasion of the virtual investiture ceremony of 2020-21. Last year was a very successful year for the Student Council of 2019-20. With their enormous efforts, they organized several events ranging from debates, fundraisers, and assemblies on school campus. Then, post spring break, they were struck with quite a challenge brought about by the pandemic. However, that didn't seem to deter them at all. They took the end of year carnival virtual and hosted quite an eventful week, bringing students and teachers together remotely. I'm so very proud to see that they adapted to the challenge and rose above the difficulties it posed in leading the student body to the best of their abilities. I would like to take this opportunity to especially thank Diya, Anushka, and Manika for their sheer hard work and constant and active participation. With that, I must say the new council has big shoes to fill. Every year, the role, responsibility, and the reach of the student council will evolve as it grows and with the legacy the previous councils have left behind. This year will leave a mark on our students' lives forever. The Student Council of 2020-21 has the humongous responsibility and task of leading the student body virtually. However, I can say with confidence that these newly elected council members, with their varied talents and their loyalty and commitment to the school, will make this year unforgettable at MLSI, and it won't just be because of the pandemic. I would now like to invite Ms. Ravleen to say a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Shivani. A very good morning to all of you present here. I take the opportunity to welcome you all in the special occasion of the investiture ceremony. Investiture ceremony is one of the memorable events of every new academic year. This makes every child discover the leadership in him or her. When the ceremony takes place, each candidate feels the sense of pride in them and that they are a leader in making for our future. This event is considered to be an event of great joy that radiates happiness all around. Firstly, let me congratulate the outgoing student council leaders. You have been good role models and have served our school well during the term of as student leaders. To the incoming student leaders, student council, your investiture marks a major milestone as said by Ms. Shivani, both in your learning journey as well as in your personal development as future leaders. I wish the upcoming student council all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, Ms.
Over to you.
Ravleen. Thank you, Ms. Ravleen, and thank you to all of you here today for supporting the student body government. Let us now welcome the newly elected council. We have Koina Bajaj as our school captain. Arjun Sundaram as our sports captain. Nishant Ajit Saria as our secretary. Krisha Anand as our TOK student coordinator. Jia Kinney as our CAS student coordinator. Mayor Ishwaran as our Ashoka House captain. Koil Bajaj as Chinar House captain. Livana Parwani as Amoha House captain. Shivon Anand as Palash House captain. Sandeep Chokal as Ashoka House vice captain. Ritvik Kothuri as our Chinar House vice captain. Sanika Bhuva as Moha House Vice Captain. Arwan Sahir as Palash House Vice Captain. Please put your hands together for this newly elected council. Congratulations and welcome, students. Sorry, just one moment. I would now like to invite our head of school, Ms. Mona Sirvai, to say a few words.
So good morning, everyone, dear parents, dear teachers, and our students, and welcome. Welcome to such an important day, which is our investiture ceremony. And really what investiture means is that we shall be formally taking into office our new office bearers, those who are elected to the Student Council at MLSI from all three sections, DP, MYP, and PYP. Last year, during my investiture address, I used the analogy of a river. And I said that here is a river that we would try to cross. And I spoke about how to get across in calm and turbulent times using the metaphor of a rope. Wow, if I look back on these past few months at MLSI, we have not crossed a mere river. It has been an ocean, or I would say vast oceans of challenges, not only for us, but for the entire world. That too, it is a virtual ocean and one that we would never ever have imagined before March this year. And I'm very, very, very confident that we will cross this as well. So for this year's address, I'm going to ask a very pertinent question. Are leaders born or are they made? So in 2015, scientists at Singapore University and Kansas University came up with the concept of the leadership gene, an inherited DNA sequence which they associated with people who take charge. Scientists do accept that while there may be a gene, leadership skills are also learned. However, the gene can provide a vital push to make someone a key leader. But if I look at the world situation today, please let me tell you, there is absolutely no gene which would have any stored information in order to help us meet the challenges that the entire globe is facing. So what do we need instead? Do we need genetic inputs? No, we need cultural and innovative inputs. So we need the ability to adapt and innovate. And so for today, I'm going to share with you 4 strategies to reflect upon. So the first strategy would be, for this year, create a concise and a clear list of priorities. Do not take on too many things at once. Start small and move ahead collaboratively. Remember, none of us know what we have or what it takes to get through this year in our DNA. And so what we will need to do is to change culture. And in order to change culture, a very clear priority, a small step at a time, working together. The second strategy is, don't look at the world in black and white. Be non-binary. Have a completely non-binary approach to your plans this year. Nothing. Everything is not only gray, there are shades of gray. So find multiple ways to approach the same situation. It may seem very fuzzy and chaotic, but then what the present is calling for is multiple approaches and varied perspectives. Thirdly, be honest, be empathetic, be clear and simple in all your communication. I've put these 4 together because candor and honesty will be the key. But empathy is so required. Empathy will enable you to understand what your fellow students are feeling. And honestly, I think we'll be coining a new word by the end of this year called Zoom empathy. I find that I'm able to read even the empathy, or even the climate on Zoom. Therefore, less is more. And so I advocate simplicity along with empathy, candor, and honesty. And finally, for this year, write down the stories. We're making history. Write down this history. Document, document, document. It's really an unprecedented time, and our learning can be adapted and contribute to the benefit of future generations of student councils at MLSI. With these few words, I want to end by saying that I have tremendous faith in each one of you as our leaders for the next academic year. I know that you may have big shoes to fill, but I also know you will leave bigger shoes behind. And with this, I wish you all the very, very best. Thank you.
Always. It is now time for the presentation of the flags. Our former student council is ready to welcome the newly elected council by presenting them with the school flags. We have Dia Heber presenting the school flag to Koina Bajaj. Ishan Agarwal welcoming Arjun Sundaram into the Student Council. Ayush Bhosle welcoming Jia, Krisha, and Nishant into the Student Council. Shiv Motwani presenting the Ashoka House flag to Shambhavi Patwardhan presenting the Chinar House flag to Koel Bajaj. Manika Suri presenting the Moha House flag to Livana Parwani. And Anushka Koturi presenting the Palash flag to Devon Anand. I would now like to request Ms. Sivai to please administer the ceremonial oath to our school captain, sports captain, and DP student coordinators.
I, Koina Bajaj,
solemnly
swear
that I will carry out my role as school captain
that I will carry out my role as school captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as school captain and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I,
Arjun Sundaram,
solemnly swear that I will carry out my role as sport captain of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as sports captain
in my role as sports captain
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I
Nishant Ajit Saria,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will carry out my role as secretary
that I will carry out my role as secretary
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as secretary
in my role as secretary
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I
Trisha Anand,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will carry out my role as TOK student coordinator
that I will carry out my role as TOK student coordinator
of Mount Litera School International
of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as TOK student coordinator
of Mount Litera School
the
International
best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as CAS student coordinator
in my role as CAS student coordinator
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I would now like to request Mr. Vishnu to please administer the ceremonial oath to our house captains.
I
I, Meher Iswaran,
solemnly swear that I will carry out my role as
that I will carry out my role as Ashoka House Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as house captain
in my role as house captain
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I
I, Komal Bajaj,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will carry out my role as
that I will carry out my role as Chinar House Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as house captain
in my role as house captain
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I
I, Lavana Parwani,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will carry out my role as
that I will carry out my role as Moha House Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as house captain
in my role as House Captain
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I
I, Siobhan Anand,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will carry out my role as
that I will carry out my role as Palash House Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I will strive to be a role model for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties
and carry out my duties
in my role as house captain
in my role as House Captain
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I would now like to request Ms. Busha to please administer the ceremonial oath to the House Vice Captains. But before we begin, I request all House Vice Captains to turn on their videos as I would have to spotlight them. Thank you, Tanvi.
I
Tanvi Chukkal,
solemnly
swear
that I will carry on my role as
that I will carry on my role as Ashoka House Vice Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties in my role as Vice House Captain and will be loyal to my school at all times. I
Ritvik Koturi,
solemnly swear that I will carry out my role
that I will carry out my role as Chinar House Vice Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold
I promise to uphold
and carry out my duties in my role as Vice House Captain and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I,
Sanika Bua,
solemnly swear that I will carry out my role as
Moha House Vice Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold and carry out my duties in my role as Vice House Captain and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
I,
Arwan Sahir,
solemnly swear
that
I will carry out my role as
Palash House Vice Captain
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
of the Student Council of Mount Litera School International
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I will strive to be a role model
I will strive to be a role model
for other students.
for other students.
I promise to uphold and carry out my duties in my role as Vice House Captain and will be loyal to my school at all times.
and will be loyal to my school at all times.
Thank you very much. And with that, everyone has been sworn in. And it's now time to pin the badges, requesting everyone to exit speaker mode and shift to gallery view. This way, we'll be able to see everybody pin the badges on our newly elected council members. And then we can again go back to speaker mode and Anushka will continue to share the screen as we progress. but requesting all parents to pin their badges on their wards on the left hand side below the left collar, and make sure that we can see it in the screen. And congratulations. Wonderful. Okay. How does it feel to have your actual badges worn? Yeah, we have to thank Cameron Sir for getting them made in good time, and glad to. It's so good to see them on you right now. It looks fantastic. Okay, great. Anushka, can I please request you to share the screen once again, and requesting everybody to again switch back to speaker view. I would now like to call Koina Bajaj to give her acceptance speech on behalf of the other council members.
Okay. Greetings to everyone present here today. Firstly, I would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for expressing your voice, your vote, and your confidence in us, the Student Council of the year 2020-21. We are ever grateful and honored to be presented with this opportunity to serve the school. We aim to work as a team and complement each other with our strengths, work on our areas of improvement, and on along be better IB learners. I would also like to appreciate the great work of the previous council for setting an example for all of us to take upward and onward. Leadership is an active living process. It is rooted in character, forged by experience, and communicated by example. And taking inspiration from these words of John Baldoni, we, the present council, hope to be this example for all of you. We aspire to be the leaders for all of you elected us to be. And we will try our best to make this drive through this challenging time less bitter and much better. We can only do justice to this role with your cooperation and your support. After all, we are here because of you. Hence, please do remember that the Council is always here with open arms to support, with open ears to listen, with open eyes to visualize, and finally, with an open inbox where you can always reach out to us. We can't promise perfection. After all, we all make mistakes. But most importantly, we learn from them and grow past them. And one thing I can assure you is that we will attempt to be the best leaders that we can. We significantly understand the responsibility that you have bestowed when selecting each one of us. While we as a group represent the voice of the student body, we remain aware of the fact that all of us may have varied and multiple opinions, ideas, and perspectives. However, we have one common reality, namely that we all belong to this community of MLSI, and we are the ones who are steering the ship in the direction that all of you wanted to go. Let us work together in this school that has come to be our comfort zone, our community, and our second family, whose essence we have realized and felt more in this virtual environment. Taking lessons from the last time, let's move forward to a year that is full of lasting experiences and memories. We are on a roller coaster ride where we are going down only to gain momentum to go up. So let's hop on for a ride together where we learn, we grow, and we move forward together. Thank you for your trust in all of us. We hope to have a great year ahead together.
Thank you, Koina. I think Dia is having a little bit of trouble joining in, so I'm just admitting her in now, and then I'll spotlight her video. So please allow a minute until she joins the meeting, and I can spotlight her video.
Hello everyone, I'm so sorry. I'm having some network connectivity issues, and because of that, I had to leave the meeting.
No worries, Dia, that's all right.
Respected Ms. Sirvai, Mr. Vishnu, Ms. Bushra, my dear teachers, esteemed parents, and fellow students. To begin with, I would like to wish everyone a very good morning. We hope Mount Litera School International's first virtual investiture ceremony has lived up to your expectations so far. I have always thought of myself as an individual who knew just what, when, and how to say things. Nonetheless, as I relentlessly scanned my mind, looking for words that would best allow me to summarize my journey as school captain, I was rendered speechless. I have realized, however, that in order to express my gratitude, sometimes paragraphs and pages of well-expressed thoughts fail to convey the heart's gratitude, as well as what are perhaps the two most simplest and powerful words, thank you. So today, after having embarked upon the most wondrous journey, all that is remaining for me to say is thank you. On the behalf of the Student Council of 2019 to 20, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Sirvai, Mr. Vishnu, Ms. Bushra, our teaching staff, administrative staff, and above all, the entire student body for bestowing your faith upon us and giving us the opportunity to be your voice. The memories we have made are memories we will forever cherish, from events such as Activity Week, the Inter-House debates, and Grandparents' Day, to simpler things such as welcoming everyone in the morning, writing remarks when students wore the wrong uniform, and running around during assemblies, telling everyone to pay attention, which was most of the time a futile endeavor. To my entire council, it has been an honor working alongside you. Together, we shared moments of triumph, moments of apprehensiveness, moments of embarrassment, and moments of pride. Yes, the lockdown did pose challenges to us, but it was a distance that brought us closer than ever as we transcended the barriers it posed and we were able to adapt, grow, and learn, not only as student leaders, but as human beings and citizens of the world. I would like to thank our parents who have been our backbone throughout this journey, always inspiring us to be the best versions of ourselves. Lastly, but most definitely not the least, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Shivani for being the best mentor we could ask for and for guiding and supporting us in every step of the journey. As we pass on the torch to the Student Council of 2020 to 2021, I would like to heartily congratulate them and wish them nothing but the best of luck. For it is with conviction that I say that the future of our school is in capable hands. Although we no longer carry our titles, the love and loyalty we have for our school remains, and we will forever be there to support the Student Council in their future endeavors. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Dia, for your vote of thanks. I would now like to request everybody to please rise for the national anthem. Anushka, please give everybody about a minute to stand and then please play. Don't start playing immediately. Please give everybody some time to stand up and then you can press play for the national anthem. Thank you.
Are you supposed to play the national anthem?
Sorry, I think we're having a little bit of a technical glitch. Just give me a minute until we press play. Anushka, I'll press play. Give me a minute.
I think I got it. Now let me just try. Should I?
Okay, do.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जय गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you all for your valuable time and assembling here this morning on our virtual Zoom investiture ceremony. If we were all in the preview theater right now, we would be taking pictures with the council, with the leadership and our parents. Well, we may not be there right now, but we did try to commemorate this ceremony with a picture the council members tried to put together. We would also request all of you now to take a picture with your family once the ceremony is over and email it to the student council. And we'd like to make a collage out of it, and so we can send it to the rest of the teachers and the student body. Thank you once again for your presence this morning, and have a lovely day.